Hello and welcome back. I got these today. Aren't they cool? Now, despite what these may look like at first glance, I promise you this is going to be a PG video, so no worries there. What these are a lovely accent to my jacket, but in addition to being a really cool accessory for any hiker's regalia, they're a very good tool for keeping track of how far you have been walking. I've heard them called a few different things, pacing beads, ranger beads, tracking beads. I really do not care what you call them. What is important is that you know how to use them so you know how far you have been walking.
These are our ranger beads. As you can see, there are two sets of beads separated by a knot. One set has 9 beads, the other set has 4. Each of these beads represents a unit of measurement, a unit of distance. Each of these beads on the set of 9 equals 100 meters. So basically how you measure distance with this thing is for every 100 meters you travel, you take one of these beads from the 9 and move it down to indicate that you have traveled 100 meters. Now, how do you know when you've traveled 100 meters? Well, before I can really go on much further in explaining this to you, first, we're going to have to measure how long it takes us to walk 100 meters.
So, to properly measure how far it will take you to walk 100 meters, you're going to need 100 meters. If you have access to a football field or a track or a long stretch of road that you're able to measure 100 meters, perfect. All you gotta do is start walking. Now, when you are walking and counting your steps, it's important to remember you're only counting every other step. Or in other words, you're only counting 1 foot. So for example, I'm right-footed, so I'm gonna walk 100 meters only counting my right foot. So it would be 1 step, 2, 3, rather than 1, 2, 3. Only 1 foot is counted for the entire 100 meters. And it's also not a bad idea to get more than 1 measurement. Maybe walk 100 meters 3 or 4 times and take that average. But that's all there is to it. Once you know how many steps you have, you are ready to officially start using the beads.
Now that you know how many steps it will take you to walk 100 meters, now you're ready to start as accurately as possible using these beads. So, as we already mentioned, for every 100 meters traveled, you are going to move one of these beads from the set of 9 down. So, I've walked 100 meters, one of these beads goes to the bottom. I've walked another 100 meters to get 200 meters, another bead down, and so on and so forth per 100 meters until you get to the end. 700 meters, 800 meters, 900 meters. Now, when you've gotten to 900 meters, you walk an additional 100 meters. But you notice there's not a 10th bead at the bottom. So instead what you're going to do is you're going to go to the top set of beads and pull one down to indicate you've gone 1,000 meters, or 1 kilometer. And after you've traveled 1 kilometer, all of these 9 beads slide right back to the top, and the whole sequence restarts. I've traveled 100 meters, 200 meters, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 meters. So, now up top, there are 2 beads on the knot, indicating that I have gone 2,000 meters, or 2 kilometers. And once again, beads reset. This whole process is going to start all over again. All of them go down, started through 900 meters. Once I get to 1,000 meters, move another, reset the 9, so on and so forth. I've gone 400 meters. Now, some people do this a little differently. Some of these have 5 beads on the top, mine only has 4. But when I get to all of my 4 beads on the bottom, indicating I've gone 4 kilometers, I take it 1 step further. I count these again, like you normally would. 100 meters, 200, 300, 400, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And when I get to 10, then I move all of these beads on the top section back to the top to reset the entire thing. And at this point, I have traveled 5,000 meters, 5 kilometers, or roughly 3.1 miles.
As with any piece of gear, there's costs and benefits. And the Ranger beads are no exception. I'd say one big detriment to the Ranger beads is their accuracy. When I measured my paces over 100 meters, it was a level surface and very consistent. But if you're out walking or hiking, you're going to be dealing with rocks, roots, wind, snow, mud, whatever. Whatever you might encounter in the woods, you're probably going to deal with it. So your paces may not be as consistent as they were when you were taking your original measurement. So keep in mind that these are not an exact science, but they will give you a very good approximation of about how far you've walked, but not exact. Now, the one big advantage to these is their reliability. Sure, a GPS or one of those Fitbit thingamajiggies, that would be more accurate, but those run on batteries, and batteries, as we all know, tend to die at the most inopportune moments. But these, it's strings on paracord. There's no batteries, it will not die. Very hard to break these things. So, not very accurate, but very reliable. But I'd say the biggest advantage of these is, they just make you look so much cooler when you're hiking. And that's the most important thing, is looking cool while you're hiking. Not really, knowing what you're doing is actually more important than that, but looking cool is definitely a perk. And on that note, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe down there or something, or not. Please do. Until next time, take care.